Right. She would make the what Amy did to Victoria bomb.
Exactly. Well, and everyone's gay bomb.
And everyone's gay bomb. Happy Pride, everyone.
Welcome to Inchworm,
the podcast in which we're inching through Worm. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ted.
We read Snare 13.2.
What'd you think?
That happened. It was pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting chapter.
Pretty exciting. We did have combat, though not with the Chosen or the Protectorate, which was my after-the-fact prediction. It was with Mannequin.
Yeah. You were sort of onto something about Lisa being able to track down Panacea.
Yes. Yes, Lisa did figure it out. We saw Panacea. Do you want to hear all of the details?
I would love to.
Okay, great. So, we start out with Grue telling us that Aisha's not here, and they're in his territory. His and Imp's territory, which makes it make sense why he's saying that. We don't know where she is, probably because she's secretly infiltrating the Slaughterhouse 9, and it's going to be a disaster. They're riding the dogs, doing sweeps of the area. Taylor's gathering additional bugs. She's being really careful with her sweeps, making sure to put silk lines that Mannequin will have to encounter or avoid. The plan is to finish going through Grue's territory, go to Bitch's territory to do whatever they need to for the dogs, go through Tattletale's area on the way back to Skitter's. Bitch is like, I don't really care, and Taylor's like, okay, this isn't going to work, so she signals to Grue that he needs to talk to her by spelling words with her bugs. Confront her, be leader, then be honest. So Grue is like, bitch, you have to talk to us. And she's like, what I think is my business. And Taylor's like, no, you're on the team. We need to know if you are thinking about joining the 9. And she says, I'm not. And Taylor's like, but? And bitch doesn't really bite and kind of just gets angry and is like, leave me alone. And she rides Bentley ahead of the others. Not so far that she's outpacing them, but clearly she wants a little bit of space. Then Taylor's phone starts ringing. She manages to stop Lucy and answer it. It is Tattletale saying that she has her people looking for known faces, and Panacea is at one of the shelters in Ballistic's territory, which is weird. That's not near where her family lives. She doesn't seem to be helping people medically. She's just kind of keeping to herself. Lisa asks Taylor to go pay a visit. And Taylor's like, I don't think I'm the right person to pay a visit. And Lisa's like, I don't know. You've talked to her before. She was there to hear Armsmaster say that you wanted to be a hero. Maybe curiosity, if nothing else, will motivate her. And it doesn't really make sense to send anyone else. Taylor proposes Genesis. And Lisa's like, maybe Genesis, but I still think you'd be better. Partially because it seems like Lisa doesn't totally trust the travelers with the secrets they're keeping. So Taylor agrees to go. Bitch is like, okay, but that's a delay. It means I can't take care of my dogs as soon. And Taylor decides that because Bitch responds well to firmness, she's going to insist and says it would only be like 15 minutes out of our way. And Grue points out that anything we find out about the 9 and their candidates will help Bitch. So Bitch agrees begrudgingly. And they find Panacea, or rather Panacea notices that Taylor is controlling the bugs. A bug brushes against her and she must be able to tell. She starts doing her thing where she messes with their feedback, but Taylor sends her larger bugs to kill all the bugs that brushed against Panacea. Amazing. Promptly murdered them is her phrase. So they find Panacea in an alley. She looks exhausted. Taylor says, I just want to talk. And Amy's like, you have me outgunned. You can do whatever you want with me. And Taylor's like, okay, but I just want to talk. Gets Grue and Bitch to give them some space. Asks Amy why she's in a shelter. Calls her Panacea. And Amy's like, don't call me that. Amy wants to know why it's any of her business. And Taylor tells her that 2 of her teammates were picked by the 9. And that Jack Slash is pitting the candidates against each other. Apparently Panacea didn't get the list of rules. She's been kind of on the move because she's been avoiding her family. Taylor's curious but doesn't want to press for information. She says that they've set themselves time limits. Their goal is to kill all the candidates but 1, and our goal is to save them. Tattletale thinks you might be one of the candidates because we know one of them is a hero. Amy asks about the other candidates, and Taylor tells her about all of them, including Armsmaster, which Amy's very interested in, except for Noelle, who she says is a non-Cape. I don't know the details, but she's in a secure location. Almost all true. Amy says she's going to get out of there, and Taylor tells her she can't leave the city because if any of the candidates leave, they will unleash a plague on the city, which they explicitly created as incentive for the 2 heroes to participate. Amy kind of mutters about, like, right, heroes, and confirms that she is a candidate. Bonesaw nominated her. She thought that Amy would be a good fit, Amy says. Taylor's surprised by that, and Amy proceeds to say a lot of negative things about herself, about how she treated Taylor, about how she screwed things up at the hospital after the Leviathan attack. And Taylor's like, okay, I don't want to strike a nerve or say the wrong thing, but I forgive you. I understand why you did that. You healed me anyway, and I don't think you're a monster. Everyone knows the work you do healing people, and Amy's like, I hate it. I hated it. Past tense. It was such a burden. Do you know how often I've wished my powers would go away? And Taylor really shows her a lot of grace. You didn't ask for your powers. Even doctors probably burn out, and they chose this. They have colleagues. They're adults. You don't have any of those things. And Amy says, don't make me out to be a good person. She thinks that what she's done in the past few days has proved Bonesaw right. Every fear Amy had about being like her dad has come true. And it's kind of funny, Amy says that, like, you're this, like, good person who was pretending to be a crook. I'm the monster who's pretending to be a hero. And now we've both somehow ended up being villains. And Taylor's like, well, doing the right thing is hard, but you still can. We really need you in this fight. You can maybe stop Crawler or Siberian. And Amy's like, more burdens. And Taylor's like, well, yeah, but we can help you in exchange. And Amy's not sure she can handle taking that last step over to the dark side, also being in Tattletale's company. Taylor is telling her that they've split into these 2 groups and that Tattletale's with the other one. While she's in the middle of saying that, Mannequin comes up behind her, grabs her neck with one hand, I think, and there's sort of a chain pulley situation where the hand pulls Taylor up and the rest of Mannequin comes down. So Taylor is hanging by her neck 6 or 7 stories in the air, and Mannequin is advancing on Amy. Taylor uses her bugs to alert Grue and Bitch to the situation. Then she sees Mannequin plunge a knife through Amy's hand into the wall. Yeah. Hands are rough. Taylor is trying to wrap Mannequin in silk again, realizes there's something that feels different about his body weight or angle, and then he shoots a gun at Bentley. Grue uses his darkness, but it seems like Mannequin can easily find him through it. Makes sense with, like, whatever weird mystery about how Mannequin senses things. Mm-hmm. He shoots at Grue and Sirius. It seems like it might be a shotgun. Lucy attacks the chain that Taylor is hanging from, which pulls her up to the roof where the chain is threaded through a metal loop. Taylor is attacking the hand with a knife. The dogs down below are attacking Mannequin, and Lucy gets shot twice and collapses. Mannequin frees himself from Taylor's spider silk, and then he frees her from his hand. She's just hanging in the air from this metal loop at the edge of a roof. He points up at Taylor, but then turns away, goes over to Bitch, and stabs Bentley between the eyes with another knife, looks at Taylor again, and then disappears. Taylor is very afraid of falling off the roof, but she manages to swing one leg up. As soon as she's there, she runs for a door, down through the building, out to the street. Grue is helping Amy. Bitch is growling over Lucy's body, who did not make it. Amy is very upset. She says that they led Mannequin right to her. Taylor's like, I mean, they can find you anyway, but Amy isn't really connected to reality. She's in pain from her hand and she can't heal herself. And Grue's like, calm down, and she just kind of screams at them and leaves. Taylor thinks about chasing, but decides she should stick with her teammates. She tells Bitch she's sorry about Lucy, and Bitch just seems forlorn rather than angry. They look at the knives that were through Amy's hand and Bentley's skull. There are words on them. The word change, and then 2200/2012-16-4. So this is the deadline for the test. 10 in the evening tomorrow. And Bitch is like, I'm going to kill him. And Taylor's like, he didn't kill me. He could have, and he had a reason to. Bitch kind of snarks about like, oh, everything revolves around you. But Taylor is realizing that the way he's going to get to her is by going after her people. That's where the chapter ends, with Taylor worried about her territory. He's got a head start. So it's not going to be pretty. He can kill people real fast.
Not a literal cliffhanger, but still a very high stakes.
Right, the actual cliffhanger was in the middle of the chapter when Taylor was hanging from the metal ring.
Yeah, 7 stories in the air. So yeah, how you feeling?
Ooh, I do feel like this encounter with Mannequin was on par with the level setting we got at the end of the first chapter, where like, this is going to be really hard. Like, they were all facing Mannequin and they couldn't really do anything against him. He had a shotgun. He took Taylor kind of out of commission. And lucky for all of them, all he wanted to do was stab them with some message knives.
Right. To Taylor's point, he's not looking to kill her yet.
Right. He wants to destroy her in other ways.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be some dead people in her territory. I would not be surprised if we'd lost most of her people already. Because Mannequin has a good head start, and, I mean, he's brutal. That's the kind of thing that he would do.
Yeah.
Honestly, just as a reader, I would prefer that they die than the characters we're already attached to. Which is such a weird thing in narrative, where you just care more about the characters where you've had story built up.
Well, okay, so yeah. So we have, the 3 ex-ABB members in the O'Daly clan. We don't care about them, but we do have 2...
I care a lot about Charlotte and Sierra,
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what kind of effect that has if it sort of sharpens Taylor's anger for this fight. It's still going to be really tough to take Mannequin down, but I like that we've now had a really down encounter with him, because it makes it feel more possible that the next time they meet him, they could defeat him, take him out, whatever.
So, right. Real stakes have gone up in that it feels so much harder, but narrative stakes have almost been reset so that we've earned a win. Yes.
Maybe if they put in some advanced planning, because they know what the deadline is. If Amy might not actually even know the deadline, but if Amy and Bitch, if everyone is not planning to transform themselves by this deadline, they're going to have a fight with Mannequin on their hands, and maybe they can win it.
And point of order, I don't think there's any reason to think that Amy noticed that there were words on the knife before she ran away.
No, definitely.
So
she doesn't know about
it. She does not know.
Yeah, I guess I was making that more uncertain. Like, she definitely doesn't know. I guess we don't know if she'll find out, if one of them will manage to tell her, but at the moment, she definitely does not know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was so scary is that we saw Mannequin stumble into Taylor's silk last chapter, but
it was just like half an hour ago.
Right, and now he's purely evasive. We don't know what he did. Maybe just traveling across rooftops or something, but
if he was high up enough, right, because he was up there.
Yeah, he was on top of a 6 or 7 story building.
On a roof when we saw him in Taylor's territory?
Yes, but I think that was like a 1 or 2 story
roof.
A
lower roof. Yeah, like, she can't have spider silk all the way up into the sky.
Yeah, and right, as she moves to a new location, right, so it could just be the faster they move, the closer he can get. And so the fact that they went and they were only going to be somewhere for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes actually, like, Skitter might need 15 or 20 minutes to set up, something that will actually protect against Mannequin.
And it's probably impossible to completely, especially, buildings are different heights, like...
Yeah. And he's so formidable in I still find Mannequin incredibly creepy, but also very cool. This is, like, visually the sequence that comes to life in my head of, like, Taylor's just standing there having a conversation, and then this hand basically drops out of the sky, grabs her by the back of the neck, and she gets yoinked.
She's like, oh, someone's behind me. No, they're not. Right,
75 feet into the air, right, as Mannequin comes down. And then he's got these big arms that make him hunch forward, right? And Taylor's like, how did he repair himself? Like, he must have modular arms, because these are not blade spinny arms. These are like shotgun arms. So,
I didn't realize the shotgun was part of his arm. That makes sense. Of course it is. It is.
Yeah. Maybe that wasn't specifically spelled out, but I'm like pretty sure that's the implication.
I probably missed it. But even if it wasn't spelled out.
Yeah. So right. He's ready to do other stuff. I guess he must have backup heads, on hand as well.
Right. Because he didn't really have ranged weapons except for, like, he could shoot chains when Taylor was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is another illustration of, like, the seesaw of, like, or the double-edged sword maybe, of groups are stronger because they have multiple powers to bring to bear, but in a way, Taylor was stronger on her own because as long as he couldn't hurt her, there was no victory he could have.
Yeah.
And now there are just so many people that he can hurt. But like with the shotgun arms, like he could have hurt her last time too.
If he had them.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
If he had the shotgun arms.
Right. So what he set out to do last time was to be like agile and be ready to butcher helpless people. Right. Like that was kind of.
He had not set himself up to fight.
He had the knife sharpening sound. Like he was out there ready to slice and dice. He was not.
And what this means is that when we meet him tomorrow at 10 o'clock or whatever, he's gonna be different again.
Yeah.
They don't know what to expect. So hopefully they'll have some new tricks. They'll put their heads together and figure some stuff out. But like...
Yeah. I even wonder if he saw them show up to Skitterland on the dogs, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna go put on my shotgun arms because that's the only thing I have that can deal with those guys.
He's got too many arms.
Right, like they're big enough that if they just sort of like bite him and hold, he probably does kind of get stuck, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Gotta be able to shoot them.
Yeah, he came prepared. And he's like, because he's got the chain up to the roof still, he can kind of Spider-Man around the scene, right?
Yeah.
He like retracts it a bit and like whooshes around the alley. Also, I was like a little disappointed that Taylor didn't prepare Grue about Mannequin's ability to see. On the other hand, even if he knew, like, what else is he going to do? You might as well try it. You know, you don't know.
That's true.
Because like
she might have told him more of the details, and we don't know.
Grue's power is like sensory deprivation, so it totally makes sense to me. Mannequin has a different kind of sense, like whatever he's doing. You know, it makes me think less that it is as simple as like heat vision, because I feel like Grue's darkness might obscure those kinds of signals as well. But like, there's got to be something that he's
electromagnetic.
Sensing. Yeah.
You saying that did make something click for me. He does deaden, I think, just hearing and sight. Is that right? Because he doesn't have a smell, but Storm Tiger could just blow away his darkness. So he probably does deaden smell as well. So it does make sense, given the family power thing, that Imp's quote-unquote invisibility, her sort of forgettability, is tied to sight, hearing, and smell. That if you have some other kind of sense, maybe she can stick with you more.
Interesting.
Which is kind of what Taylor said last time, but it wasn't really clicking for me. I was like, I mean, maybe, but now that I'm putting it together with Grue's power, I'm like, that's probably right. So she's screwed with Cherish. Oops.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
It would be really fun if she could get past Cherish, though. Poor Cherish, failing again. I just want to see Mannequin be defeated.
I know. He's in a real love-to-hate category for me. And, like, he strings her up and then he's just pointing. And then he, like, looks back at her. Like, I haven't forgotten about you. And also, like, the thing that he does, I don't know how intentional this is, but he has his knives, and then he goes to Panacea's hand and the head of one of Bitch's dogs, like, are both very emblematic of their powers.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, change yourself. It is a weird... It's like slightly better than the you-me keyboard stunt that he pulled with Armsmaster.
The special... He got those knives made real fast. I mean, he made them. He's a tinker.
Yeah, yeah. But the number on the knife is very confusing to me.
Really?
Yes. Because I think there's a typo in it. Because I want to explain... There's the 2200 slash, right? And then it looks like a date.
Yeah,
right? 2012, 16/4. So April 16th, 2012.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Sure.
So this story does not take place at that time. That would
really?
be that would be like the following April.
Are you sure? Like, have we had a year mentioned in the book so far? Because I feel like he's probably writing it in 2012 by this point, so he might just decide at this point, it all takes place in 2012. I started writing it earlier.
Well, I have some more information.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's just wrong. June
13th is the 164th day of the year. So, for a story set in 2011, 164 would be June 13th, which is 2 days after the period this is set in the story, which I will spoil for you. It doesn't really matter. It's June 11th. But that is today, as we are recording this.
Oh my god.
So, we are recording this on the 15th anniversary of this fight against Mannequin.
Wow.
Coincidentally, it is also exactly 15 years since Wildbook posted the first chapter of Worm. So, it's a real double out-of-story, in-story Wormiversary.
Wait. So he posted the first chapter of Worm on June 11th, 2011.
And the story is set earlier in 2011.
Okay,
it has caught up to June 11th as of where we have read in the story.
Wow, that's so cool. I'm so glad we recorded today.
I know. So yeah, 2012 164. I think it should be 2011 164. Maybe there is an off by one thing, and
but
it was meant to be set in 2012.
Is you said June 12th? Is that
June 13th?
June 13th. Yeah. But that's also an off by one date, isn't it?
I mean, maybe I looked it up. I don't know. I could have done the math wrong.
Because they said it's tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they have like 24 hours-ish.
Whatever the numbers are supposed to mean. This was my excuse to introduce us to the canonical date.
Nice. That's really fun.
And yeah, I mean, we sort of already said this, but like, for the 9, the stakes are rarely life and death.
Right, they're so tough.
He doesn't care to even try to kill her. Right? He's already, he got beat, but he's confident again. And it's...
Right.
Oh.
It would just be so satisfying to have him actually die at the end of this trial period. And a little more frustrating if it's like he manages to do serious damage to them and get away with it. But now I'm thinking about what that would mean for the rest of the testing period. If they kill Mannequin, then, I mean, first of all, the 9 are going to be going even harder after them.
Yeah.
But also it means that they will probably be due for some defeats at the hands of the 9 in chapters after that. Mm-hmm. And if they lose to Mannequin or just manage to prevent him doing serious damage, then there's a little more wiggle room narratively, perhaps. So while I really want Mannequin to go down, I'm not sure it's worth the narrative cost of that means the 9 would win a few times. Maybe kill some of our people.
Yeah. Well, speaking of killing Mannequin, our beloved bitch has sworn to do this. Yet another candidate swearing to kill a member of the 9 eventually.
Oh, yes. Well, wait, who else did? Theo did,
Hookwolf swore to kill Shatterbird as well.
Yeah. They just really make people want to kill them, but they're hard to kill.
Yeah.
I just want them all to die. It would be so great.
After this chapter, how are you feeling about Bitch and the 9?
It was a really interesting conversation that she and Taylor had where Bitch said that she's not planning to join the 9, and Taylor heard a but there, and Bitch was like, what? And Taylor's like, but? And Bitch was just like, leave me alone. My thoughts are my own. And I don't think that she was lying completely. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that what she is telling herself is, I'm not going to join the 9. But that's not actually a firm decision for her. Like, there's a part of her that's like, but maybe. Or possibly the way Taylor interprets it is like there's something else eating at you. And that's probably the thing where she tried to take out Taylor and doesn't know how to deal with that. And she doesn't trust Taylor, doesn't know how to deal with that either, and she doesn't really know how to be a member of the team. I'd say mostly when the first is present, like, she doesn't trust anyone, so maybe that wouldn't be an obstacle for her. But I think the but is, but what am I going to do if I don't join the 9? And I don't think she has an answer to that yet, and that's why the 9 is a little bit of a vague possibility for her, because it's the only thing that is actually real as an option. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like it's almost a parallel to the situation that Taylor was in the first book of Worm, where Taylor's like, oh, I'm trying to be, like, authentically friends with you, but I know eventually I'm going to have to turn you in, and, like, maybe we can come back from that. And Bitch is now being like the same thing, like, well, I don't want that. But she's kind of like a little, sort of like what you were saying. It's, you know, she can't be, she's maybe feeling a pull, or she is dealing with that feeling she had of like, I'm not like the rest of them. I am different. And that's eating me up inside.
Yeah.
I did think, like, there's a lot of, like, bitch looks angry. She's glaring at me. She's scowling. And when bitch looked away from Taylor, it's like you could think look away in anger, but I also had the same thought of, like, well, it could be guilt, right?
Yeah.
She's now having to spend time with Taylor for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't want to feel guilty, you can avoid Taylor. And now it's like, okay, they're working together. And she's like, man, I keep remembering that awful thing I did.
I think the thing that gives me hope for bitch, though I think it's still really unclear what will happen with her, is, Mannequin killed her dog. The Undersiders have never killed her dogs. Like, how is she going to choose to join a group of people who already killed one of her dogs?
Yeah, it would have to get so much worse.
Yes.
It's also the reaction that she has is heartbreaking. Taylor looks at her, bitch does make eye contact, and she's not angry, she's forlorn, right?
Yeah.
So there's no part of her that in this moment is easily blaming this on Taylor. I was a little worried, remembering where the scene goes, when Taylor has to be like, look, it's only going to be 15 minutes. We're not going to go, and I was like,
right, but no, she's
is bitch going to realize,
yeah.
like, Mannequin would have caught up to them at some, sort of like this, you can't pin this on
Doesn't
Taylor.
Seem
but
like she's Amy was blaming Taylor, but not bitch.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I have a new prediction for deaths. I think if an Undersider dies, it's going to be bitch. Which is really sad because I want her and Taylor to heal that relationship. Like, there's so much potential there. If they had a future in the narrative together, I feel like they could get somewhere. But bitch doesn't see a way forward except for joining the Slaughterhouse 9, and she doesn't want to do that. Bitch feels incredibly guilty. I could definitely see her. Bitch is very mad at the Slaughterhouse 9. I could see her throwing herself at them, kind of the way she threw her dogs at Leviathan.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
I think if she's mad enough at them, she's not going to let them win, but she also won't be able to beat them.
Right.
And so I think she is a very strong candidate for dying at their hands.
Oof.
Which would be a real blow to our characters. Not as much as if it were like Grue, but I think it would be a good size of blow to come out of this arc where there has to be loss.
Right.
I would be shocked if it were both bitch and regent. I think that would be kind of almost too crowded with different kinds of grief. I mean, we had Leviathan, anything could happen, but yeah.
I mean, but they are a real, like, Scooby Gang. It's like thinking about the narrative dynamic, right? Yeah. It's a tough thing to do. I guess, like, in a season of TV, maybe you get a cast shakeup every once in a while, with a character death or just, like, someone who doesn't want to be on the show anymore or something, right? But that's like a once-a-season thing. I feel like I'm struggling to even imagine we, totally shook up the show in the whole middle of the thing.
I mean, this is book 2, right?
Yeah.
You already know what happens. I get, I just kind of feel like making it out of this with all the Undersiders, with, all the candidates except Hookwolf, which are all the ones we care about, alive. That just seems too much to ask for.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And yeah, also, when bitch is like, my thoughts are my own, right? She storms off angry, like she wants space, but it's like, it's sort of like, it's like acting guilty, right? Like, it's a realistic reaction if you're trying to interrogate someone who's guilty, right? Like, if you're just talking casually to your friend and you're like, some terrible secret is like eating you up about how you wronged them, like, you're just going to be acting off in this way. But one of the things that I loved is that in this chapter, I feel like Taylor's feeling like herself again. Like, the mission is so clear, and she's like, we can't do this anymore, right? Like, her desire to be competent has finally overcome the interpersonal awkwardness, and she's like, I'm going to talk to bitch. I'm going to make Brian talk to bitch. Right? I'm going to butt in immediately, but I'm going to make him start that conversation. It was
good that he started it. Actually, the thing that I'm realizing, Taylor thinking, there are risks to talking to her, but, at this point we have to... The thing I was saying last time about, they are underestimating how messed up things are inside bitch's head. They think it's, we just can't talk about it and it'll be fine. She'll cool off or whatever, and that's not the situation. It reminds me of sort of the advice where, if you're suffering in a situation or struggling and you're like, but I can't say anything. It would like be awkward. It would, create unpleasantness. And you're like, the unpleasantness is already there. It's just inside of you. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to keep it all? Mm-hmm. And this is that situation, except like most of the unpleasantness is inside of bitch. And everyone's like, it's fine. It's fine. As long as we keep it there. Like they don't really know it's there.
Right.
But
yeah.
Because they can't see it, they don't know that the risk is not from talking about it. The risk is just always there anyway.
Right. Yeah, it's a more fundamental challenge that she's struggling with.
Speaking of Taylor asking Brian to help bitch, this is one of my favorite new Skitter innovations.
The skywriting.
But presumably like kind of small and like right in front of someone.
Yeah.
It's Ghostwriter.
That's Ghostwriter. You're right. It's Ghostwriter. Oh my God. I love that so much.
It's such a good show, first of all. What a great fate for Taylor to become Ghostwriter. Yes. And, I mean, she's sort of done this before, but we've never seen her do it, like, in conversation with someone.
And, taking the bugs that make up the word leader and just having them change around in place until they say honest.
This animated series is going to be so good. Uh-huh.
And also, it's like, we don't get a ton of some bug interaction in this chapter, but I just feel like this is such a like they're back moment for her to be like, be the leader.
Yeah.
Okay, what I mean is be honest. Like we're talking about like your virtues again, Brian. Like be honest to bitch. It's like really intense.
Is his conscience in a way. Yeah. I mean, they haven't really settled into those roles, but that is a part of their dynamic. Yeah, she's the Cassie to his Jake. Yeah.
Do you want to talk more about, like, Taylor, or do you want to get into the Amy of it all?
Let's get into Amy.
Yeah, so how's she doing?
She's not her best self right now. She's a big mess in several directions.
I love the tragedy of this, because it would be too easy for it to be like, okay, Amy's part of the team now.
No,
right? Like,
I just want her to be on the team.
Because, like, Taylor is trying so hard. She does not understand what is happening with Amy, but Taylor is like...
She's doing such a good job, really.
Yeah, and, like, Lisa's like, Taylor, you're the best one to talk to her. And Taylor's like, okay, Genesis could do it. And Lisa's like, yes, Genesis could do it, but you're still the best one.
Lisa's right.
I was going to ask. But yeah, probably. And, like, she does an okay job. And, like, I feel like the conversation is maybe, like, they're starting to build a bridge.
Right.
And then yoink! Yep. And it ends with Amy being like, fuck you guys! Ah! And running away. So the tension continues.
I mean, presumably Amy is not going to run away forever or actually leave the city, because I think she has too much of a conscience for that.
Interesting.
So she probably will come crawling back in some way or other, maybe to help heal some of the people who are brutally injured by Mannequin in Taylor's territory. That would be really nice.
If she ever finds out, because she also left before Taylor concluded that.
Well, yes, but if she's looking for them, she might be able to find... She might know where Skitter's based. She might be able to find them.
Well, let me ask... Do you think, before Mannequin interrupted, that Amy was gettable? Because it is unclear. I felt like the conversation was making progress, but I don't know if I think she was gettable in this moment.
I think she could have been gettable in the sense of, like, we have a sort of temporary alliance.
Yeah.
She is being so down on herself, and yet she is also not willing to take the final step into, like, allying with villains.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a protest she had to make, but I don't think she actually would have, when calmly considering it, been like, no, I'm going to go on my own against the Slaughterhouse Knight. Like, what? Like, the alternative probably is going back to her family, and that would be worse. So I think she would have had to, like, kind of reluctantly.
Yeah, and I do wonder if, now that she knows about the citywide plague, if that will be enough for her, because her default right now is like, I'm just going to get out of here. I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Let me run away. So at least she has that kicking around in her head, and that might be enough to ground her. It would be quite something for her to be like, nope, I'm catching a bus. Bye-bye, Brockton Bay.
I just think that would cut off the narrative too much. Yeah. Like, we didn't build all this to stop it now.
But whether she's capable, of doing that now that she knows. I want to pitch sort of why she's not gettable.
Okay.
connecting some threads in like talking about this, right? The thing that she says at the beginning of their encounter, right? She storms out. She's waiting for a skitter. She doesn't try to run. And she says, I can't outrun those dogs. You've got me outnumbered, and you've probably got more weapons than me. I think you're in a position to do whatever you want. And Skitter's like, good, because I just want to talk. So, consent is on her mind, right? I'm wondering if there's a little bit of, and I would deserve it, whatever you're going to do to me.
Also, and if you do something terrible to me, then maybe what you did isn't as bad as what I did to Victoria, and I can still feel better about myself again.
Yeah, or if,
I would be being punished, yeah.
Right. There's a little bit of, like, villains are violators. So she's like, here comes notorious villain Skitter. She's going to make me do something bad that I don't want to do. Well,
it'd be even worse if, like, Amy's worse than Skitter.
Well, right, exactly. So there's a little bit of this, like, there's also maybe a little bit of she's still stuck in that same dynamic she had with Bonesaw, where she's like, I never would have been able to heal Mark if Bonesaw hadn't made me.
Oh.
And so what she's clinging to is like, well, you're going to make me, team up with villains. Well, you have to force me. Like, you have to make me do it.
Oh, that's a great point.
Right,
yeah,
like,
she doesn't want to make the choice. She's like, you guys, drag me along with you involuntarily. Like, that would be such a relief.
So the idea, it's like the perfect psychological compliment to Taylor, who is like being a villain is her job, and she is incredibly reasonable, and it's like, no. Doing stuff that is good is hard, and I am here asking you to do stuff. And Amy's like, don't make me do bad stuff. And Taylor's like, no, I just want you to do the thing that would be good for everyone. And Amy's like, you can't make me. And she's like, no, listen.
I do wonder if they would have gotten to a point in the conversation where Amy would have been kind of like, I don't know. And then Taylor would have recognized, as she did with Bitch, that, like, firmness would be helpful here. I'm like, all right, well, you're coming back with us.
Yeah.
And maybe that would have gotten Amy to come along with them. She wouldn't have been, like, wholeheartedly one of the gang, but... Yeah.
The other angle I have on this is when she's telling Taylor about her healer guilt. Don't you know how many hours I've spent awake at night wishing my powers would just go away? Or that some circumstance would come up where I'd make some excusable mistake where they would eventually forgive me, but where I couldn't visit the hospitals anymore? Excusable mistake where they would eventually forgive me? Wow, Amy. Right, like, Victoria is very, very much front of mind here.
Yeah.
Right, it's the like, there's almost a little bit of like, oh, well, the villains made me team up with them, so it's still forgivable, right? There's like a little, like, Bonesaw made me do what I did to you, Victoria, right? Like, so I think there's also, it's wanting to see herself as a victim of circumstance or, like, fate, and it's maybe a little bit of hope for absolution. Like, at the same time that she's like, I'm a monster. She's also a little bit like, but if I never like embrace it wholeheartedly, then maybe
right. That's why she doesn't want to take that final step.
Yeah.
So 2 things about that. The first is I don't know that I had really put together how much what Amy did to Victoria was her doing something bad so that she wouldn't be trusted to help people anymore because she wants to be free from that.
Yeah.
Like, she was doing what she'd always wanted to do, what she'd always feared she would do as sort of the self-fulfilling prophecy, and she was freeing herself from this enormous burden of having to be a hero because now no one would trust her to touch them.
Right. But it's excusable. It's excusable. At least she wants it to be.
I don't know that she thinks it's excusable.
Yeah.
She thinks she's a monster.
She thinks she's a monster.
And she doesn't want Taylor to make her out to be a good person. But Taylor does tell her explicitly, I forgive you, as part of what she says. And, she doesn't know everything that Amy's done, but I wonder if that... Like, Taylor said some really good stuff to her, some really understanding stuff.
A lot of wisdom.
Yeah, and Amy was kind of automatically pushing back against it. I wonder if when Amy runs away, when she bandages her hand, when she calms down a little, she will...
have heard it.
She'll be able to hear it, and that will bring her back to Taylor, to Skitter, because she does recognize in her, I think, a person who can be trusted emotionally.
Yeah.
And maybe Coyle's paramedics can help her hand. Like,
yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a nice confirmation.
Like, she doesn't know any first aid.
What we had speculated that...
Oh, yeah. I think we did know. Yeah.
She can't heal herself. Yeah, the asymmetry around what villain means is so interesting. Right, because when Amy has her little comment about, like, or you were a good guy pretending to be a crook, like I'm a monster pretending to be a hero, and now we're both villains, right? Like, because to
maybe
Taylor,
that means that Amy is going to ally with them.
Right, villain is a role, but to
Right.
Amy, villain is like a violator, like someone who does bad things. And
I don't actually think that I read that from what she said there. I think that was more referring to, like, I'm being recruited by a villain gang and I have to ally with villains now. Because she already was saying that she's a monster.
Yeah,
I think that monster is more what you're getting at than villain for her.
Yeah, that's interesting. Taylor's the one who brings up monster, though, right? I was wondering if that was almost Taylor overplaying her hand. Because Taylor is saying, like, hey, I understand the whole hospital thing. You were mean to me, but I get it, and I forgive you, for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. And then there's, like, a beat, and then she's like, I don't think you're a monster.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he's like, like, you don't know.
She's such a teenager.
Yeah. I also wonder... So Taylor is not good at this. She says it in this scene.
Yeah.
And part of me, in Taylor's perspective, is like, but Taylor, you're making so many good points. You're really saying all the things that Amy needs to hear. But I do wonder how much is lost in translation. Because Amy doesn't know Taylor. She knows Skitter. And so if you see Skitter talk to you just like very straightforwardly and bluntly, sort of like, yes, Amy, you were a jerk, but I forgive you. Like, I could imagine it being hard for Amy to hear how authentic Taylor is from Skitter's mask.
I don't think so. I think she was able to hear it. I think that Taylor is not good at this in the way that Lisa would be, because she's not good at reading people and manipulating them, but she is good at honesty, and she's good at sort of, emotional honesty is probably the best, like what she says to Brian, like, be honest.
Yeah.
She's good at kind of putting it all out there. Like, she did it to Amy, and she did that to Amy in the hospital, and I think Amy was kind of able to hear it after the fact when she got that context from Armsmaster. And I think at this point, Amy kind of has enough pieces of the puzzle to start to see a little bit of who Skitter is. Like the way her territory people are starting to flock to her.
Okay.
And I think there's something really genuine about Taylor that, she's not the smoothest in a given moment. She might not know exactly what to say, but... there's a reason she became the heart of the Undersiders. There's a reason Bitch trusted her before the betrayal.
Yeah.
Because she is actually good at reaching people in this genuine way.
Yeah. She's also, in this moment, standing for something that she feared others would not do. In the last chapter, she's like, well, after that villain meeting, people aren't going to cooperate. Mm-hmm. And here what she is pitching to Amy is like, we gotta work together.
Yeah.
Right. And I buy that she's gonna sound at her most authentic when she is talking about that, because she really does believe in the power of the swarm.
Yeah, it's what her power is. Yeah.
Do you think Amy beats Crawler?
That's really fun.
I thought that was an awesome idea.
Yeah, why not? He's a healer of himself, but can she act faster? I think when she was facing the sort of double healer, what was it, Pagoda or whatever?
Yeah.
Bonesaw's creation, she wasn't able to disable Pagoda in a way that didn't involve killing them.
Yep.
But she was able to kill them.
Yeah.
And I think she would be able to kill Crawler, but nothing else, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
But she probably could.
Mm-hmm.
He would be tougher. Possibly she could just almost kill him, and that would be disastrous.
Yeah.
The Siberian, I don't actually know. I don't think she would have any effect on the Siberian. I don't really understand the Siberian's power, but it seems to be like, immovable object except it can move.
Right.
And I don't know that... I feel like Amy's power would just slide off of her. But I bet versus Crawler, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, with Siberian, I wonder the question is, like, is it always on? That's kind of... Because she can apply her effect, like, to Jack when jumping off a building, but not all the time.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't it always be on?
Yeah.
Is kind of the question there. And yeah, with Crawler, I think you're right, probably, that Amy could strike a death blow.
I think the way to defeat Siberian is to kill Bonesaw. I think killing Bonesaw... I mean, possibly the Siberian would just go on, like, a killing spree. Mm-hmm. But possibly it would undo her enough, and maybe she would become vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah, she has a special...
Yeah.
Motherly, familial affection for Bonesaw for some reason. I'm
almost bummed that this novel is not just about the Slaughterhouse Nine, because I feel like our group of villain heroes... facing down these 9 people and like or 8 people, how did they kill them all without getting killed in the midst of these tests, which is such a fun construct. It's like a Hunger Games type setup.
Yeah.
Like, what a satisfying novel that would be. But because this book is bigger than that, I don't know that they're all going to get taken out, and that's, like, frustrating to me. I'm like, they could just escape.
I think you're pitching the Astolat fanfiction of Worm, which is an extended playing it completely straight.
Oh my god, what I would give for that. That would be so satisfying.
How do you take down the Slaughterhouse 9 one by one?
There's no one better than her at procedural stories, and specifically battle details. She's incredibly good at battle logistics and just like such an innovative and satisfying
sort of
way.
like
In a sort of different way than Wild Bones.
How do you solve the impossible problem?
Right. Yes, that's her favorite thing.
Right. I would say that is the strength of Wild Bones as well, though you have not seen as much evidence of it yet.
The thing about Astolat's stories is that you can always trust that everything will turn out well. Like, everything will turn out well.
And that's an important difference.
Yes.
That's an important difference.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up that Amy, in saying, I will not join with villains, is kind of who we wanted Battery to be. Like, contrast Madcap, right? Like, here is Taylor making a very cops and robbers pitch of like, hey, like, let's just team up.
If there are 2 sides, you're definitely on ours.
Right. And Amy is saying, I will not work with villains. And I was kind of like, part of what bothered me so much about Battery was that she claims to have this deeply held value.
Yeah.
And then she never stood up for it once. And that makes me dislike her. But, I mean, it's in the context of that one, like, montage-y chapter, right? Like, thinking about it in this moment, I'm like, yes, Taylor is right. For the greater good, you gotta team up against the Slaughterhouse 9.
That's funny, because Battery is someone who has something to be ashamed of in her past and is trying to just hero as hard as she possibly can to, escape it. Amy has something she's ashamed of and has declared herself a monster because of it, but isn't quite happy with that. Although maybe she also has been trying to hero as hard as she can to erase the thing she's ashamed of, which was her feelings for Victoria.
Yeah.
And she couldn't, and she burned out on it, and now she's just sort of floundering.
Yeah.
Bitch has a thing she's ashamed of in her past. Also doesn't know the way forward. There's actually a lot in common here between Amy and Bitch.
I know.
Which probably means both of them don't die, but one of them does.
Oh no! Can you stop predicting that people are going to die?
No!
I know I just said
you made me read this book.
I know that I just said not everything ends happily in a Wild Bones story, but...
Yeah, Astolat's thing, I don't know if we need to keep this in. Astolat's thing is always like, how can you pull off the impossible you catastrophe?
Yeah.
Of like, how can you earn a happy ending for everyone?
Exactly, yeah. And she's very good at it.
One thing about Bitch, at the end, she's like, the world revolves around you, doesn't it? To Taylor. I'm like, yeah, Bitch, you don't know that she's the main character. There's just nothing she can do about it.
All right, so I want to talk about Amy's power again. A bug lands on her. And she marks it as one of Taylor's. This, for some reason, clicked for me in a way that, like, I think it should have been apparent from the bank job, right? But Amy's power gives her like neurological insight into the bugs.
Oh, she's changing their brains.
Well, something about what Taylor is doing is perceivable sort of on a constant basis to Amy.
She can sense Taylor's neurological control of the bugs and alter it.
Well, yeah, because I thought maybe like scrambling the bugs, it's like, oh, if I mess up their brains, then if Taylor's like a receiver, you know, like if she's doing something like that and then like sending signals in some sort of like magical power mumbo jumbo way.
We didn't know from the bank job that she could detect Taylor's control of the bugs, and now we do.
Exactly. So that like, it's fascinating to me both about how good Amy's power is and like the mechanism behind Taylor's power. Yeah. It's so interesting.
Her brain is basically extended across the swarm, which means that Amy was altering brains before Victoria's because she was altering Taylor's.
That is so interesting. That is so interesting. But, like, tragically, Amy, if not having to just heal people all the time, would be a great field researcher in biology. Like, get her out there touching weird fish and weird bugs and, like, instantly mapping all of their biology, right?
You know what we need? We need someone who can take Amy's power and turn it into a device or give that power to other people.
Yes!
The problem with Amy's power is its uniqueness. If you have 10,000 Amy's or, you know, 1,000,000 Amy's, then, I mean, maybe there's a problem in, like, people altering each other's brains, so maybe that's an issue. But everyone can be healed, and so much fire
Armsmaster turns
research.
his halberd into a heal bird. Bakada makes a healing bomb. Right?
Was that BOMB or BALM?
I guess the problem is Bakada would not make a healing bomb. She would make that, like, weird, you know, Grue's head explodes into a tumor bomb.
Yeah. Right, she would make the what Amy did to Victoria bomb.
Exactly. Well, and everyone's gay bomb. I mean,
and everyone's gay bomb. Happy Pride, everyone.
Yeah.
No, but I do think that someone like Armsmaster could figure out how to create a device that uses maybe just the healing parts of Amy's power, and that would be great.
Yeah.
The heal bird, as you say.
Yeah. I really liked when Amy calls them the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and Taylor's like, huh? And Amy's like, I'm not going to explain.
Taylor doesn't know that reference. She knows a lot of references.
Yeah, I don't know, but...
Selective. She's 15.
I was thinking, like, yeah, they're riding dogs, which makes sense. And they do map pretty cleanly onto pestilence, war, and death. But I don't know if I don't know if we have a good candidate for famine among the other Undersiders or capes that we know of. So I feel like Amy was going based on the...
Weren't we talking about how Regent could be a really good, like, dietitian?
Yes.
Make other people diet?
Yeah, he controls you and you don't eat. I guess that's famine.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a tangential use of his power, but...
Do you know what a mosh cap is?
No.
I looked this up. It's I would think of it as like a combat hat or like a military hat. But it's like it's like if you imagine a soldier with like a green circular hat with a little brim on it. Like that's a mosh hat.
Okay.
Presumably that style of combat hat was popular in mosh pits and stuff. But
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Amy's wearing to hide in the shelter.
But not well enough.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, like, Amy flinches a little bit when Taylor compares it to Survivor. So I was wondering if they're like, oh, are they here to kill me? You know, that could have been what's on her mind.
Oh, I thought she was just confused. Yeah, I missed that.
I mean, maybe Taylor's only watched Survivor because Regent gets it from Earth Aleph. And,
right, maybe it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And,
Survivor with capes would be amazing. Like, I would love to know more about reality TV.
I mean, that's just this book.
I was wondering a little bit, why hasn't Bonesaw filled in Amy yet? Because I'm pretty sure Taylor's right. Like, they could find Amy at any time. So, like, you know.
That's a good point.
Maybe just because it's not her turn yet. You know, I don't know. But, like, Amy only knows what Taylor has told her. And that was a lot of information to take in. So I feel like the nine need to do a better job.
It's kind of unfair that she hasn't been informed.
Yeah. If Bonesaw wants a sister.
Don't you care about your sister?
Exactly. I also really like the moment where Taylor mentions Armsmaster, and Amy has a little bit of hope, where she's like, oh, they're nominating other heroes. And Taylor's like, yeah, but Armsmaster, turns out he's really bad. It's immediately dashing that lifeline. I mean, just Amy being like, I'm the daughter of a villain. I haven't been nice. I haven't been merciful or forgiving or considerate. I don't know how true that is or how much that is just like who she's going to be if she decides to go full villain. Right? Like, because like...
I'm so excited about this possibility because I predicted it so early.
Well, right, because like, who hasn't she forgiven?
Well, she wasn't...
Who hasn't she given mercy to?
I think she was talking about her treatment of Taylor in the hospital, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I think that was fairly specific.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really only seeing the worst parts of herself. Just the negative self-talk. She and Kid Win need, like, to attend a class together.
I know.
I mean, they need cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah, get them all in group therapy.
Yeah. They need, like, a good Cherish who can, like, make their feelings better.
Gallant. R.I.P.
They need Gallant.
R.I.P.
Oh, no. Wow.
I do want to...
Although Gallant did not help Kid Win, so...
No, he didn't help Amy.
No, true. But I mean, you know, he was working with Kid Win every day, so...
I do want to call out a win for the heroes, though.
Okay.
I love that Amy got in trouble for the Skitter thing.
Oh, yeah.
Pigo and Legend and Miss Militia showed up to her house to lecture her.
That's
I love
intense.
this. Is like, I don't know, good cop, bad cop. I don't know what the third adjective should be.
Yeah.
Dad
I mean, because
cop,
of her.
Is Legend a dad?
Definitely. I mean, he's got dad vibes, even if he's not a dad. No, but because of Amy, the best cape in the world, Shadowstalker, got outed, and how can we have that?
No, but it's like, obviously it's like damage control optics. They're only doing it because it got out of hand. But like, I do value that somebody connected Panacea overstepped. Yeah. And that caused the Skitter incident.
Yeah.
Because that feels like justice for our girl.
It's funny that they think probably that the way Panacea treated her made her not want to join the wards when that's not exactly
they
causal. They don't
exactly.
know about Sophia.
Exactly.
I have a random thought that's not connected to this chapter, but I was listening for the first time since they came out to some of our episodes from like 2 arcs ago, maybe. You were asking me what it might be that sends Lisa's power into overdrive, like something that mimics her trigger event. And I was realizing while listening to it that obviously it's people calling her stupid. Or maybe more specifically her feeling stupid. Mm-hmm. But her whole thing, whenever someone says, you know, she's like, I hate it when people call me stupid. And like, I bet she does. I bet that's what calls up her trigger event for her.
That's also making me think, right, she was in overdrive in the hospital, and that's how we ended her chapter where she gets knocked off the roof with Leviathan, with her thinking, how could I be so stupid? So her taking down Arms Master was being fueled by...
right. Like, I doubt Alexandria was making her feel stupid, but presumably just the carryover, the hangover from almost being killed by...
Yeah. And you know what? I bet that getting beat up in combat makes her feel stupid.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll have more trouble feeling stupid when she is back behind a bank of cameras.
Yeah.
Or maybe she'll just feel stupid for not being there.
Yeah.
I wonder if she wants that because it will help her power be stronger somehow. I don't know why.
Could be.
That doesn't quite fit with my theory, but...
A couple other, like, just little things. This is just a great Wild Bill realism detail. Mm-hmm. Her phone rings, but she's riding on Lucy. She can't answer it in time.
She manages to stop the dog, but she's missed the window.
Right. And then her phone rings again. Like, yes, because like so unrealistic. Because in a movie, it's just like, oh yeah, you answer the phone no matter what. Because you're not going to take time to deal with that. You're never going to have someone like pull over.
It is a really satisfying part. I love the way he does it, where it doesn't like bog things down. It just feels like a nice detail.
Exactly. And you mentioned this, but Taylor calling Noelle a non-cape.
You know... I did imply that it was a lie. I don't think...
She doesn't have a costume.
She knows that.
Yeah.
She also didn't say a non-parahuman.
Yeah.
So maybe she isn't... I mean, she knows that Noelle used to fight with the Travelers. So she knows that she has a power, presumably. She doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I guess she is not right now a cape in that she doesn't put on a costume and go out.
Right.
But in Panacea, I guess Panacea does put on a costume and go out. She's just not in combat, really. It was so... I mean, we talked about it already, but, like, I loved that insight that Panacea might be the one who could take out Crawler.
And it's like, again, to Taylor
Genius.
being on top of it, right?
Yeah.
She's thinking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is now putting her mind to the specific problem. She's not as under duress as she was the whole second half of last arc. She got her good night's sleep, and even though she is pessimistic about their chances, she is working fully to be like, okay, what are the powers I know? What do I know about Crawler?
She's not someone who lies down and is like, well, it's hopeless.
Yeah.
Amy has a little more of that in her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Put Amy in a cannon, shoot her at Crawler, right? Like, we're gonna get this solved.
I love that. Fortunately, I said that Imp was a loose glass cannon last time, so we put Amy in there and shoot her. Perfect.
One little note about Lisa. I love that she has extended her power by using her minions to do normal surveillance.
Yes.
Like, I just love that as a little detail about, her making her little,
her web.
Right. Tattleland is similar to her in a way that Skitterland is similar to Skitter.
Mm-hmm. Tattletown.
Tattletown. There it is. Mm-hmm. One Skitter note that I laughed out loud at was just Panacea messes up her bug, and then she immediately has a bunch of big bugs come by to eat
murder them.
Right, but yeah, she uses the word murder, which is so funny to me.
So vicious.
Because, like,
she tears them apart and has other bugs eat them.
Right, but like,
they need food.
Is this a sign that she's
bonding
feeling
with the bugs?
Some affection for them? That they're not purely disposable? That she's acknowledging?
I don't think so, because she did it so viciously
just
and subtly.
A little tongue in cheek. I was also wondering, again, I do like the reading that Taylor's authenticity is coming through, but you could read some of it a different way, right? So, like, that's what I was going to ask you. Why are you in a shelter, Panacea? Don't call me that. I raised my hands a bit to stop her. Okay. Why are you in a shelter, Amy? Right? Like, how sarcastic is she being?
I guess we are not informed of that.
Later, also, when she's just running through a crowded building, right?
Oh, yeah.
you're in this territory, right? I don't know. Like, I guess they're not going to be at work. Nobody's working in Brockton Bay these days, right? But, like, the idea of, like, here's Skitter, and she's just running as fast as she can down the stairs through a 6-story building, and people are screaming. But like, they're in the background.
How did she get out here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it hard to even read that paragraph because I needed to know what happened next.
Yeah. And as focused on the mission as she is, and I do think it puts her back in fine form, right? I also love the choice at the end to be like, okay, Amy ran away, but, like, whatever. I'm going to stick with my people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think chasing down Amy at that moment would have been helpful anyway.
Yeah, probably.
What's she going to do? Kidnap her? Not a serious one, but,
I love how wise Taylor is about Amy's stuff.
She really sees
you're a
the problem.
teenager, you're not a trained doctor, like...
You didn't even choose this the way doctors do.
Doctors actually have a life.
Colleagues, right. You don't have work hours.
And getting these two characters together and have them hash out what's the meaning of right and wrong, right? Like, Taylor being like, doing the right thing is hard. It's very good core thematic stuff. I really it's a joy to read.
We need Amy in Skitterland. That's my prediction for next time, that there will be a lot of people killed, but some people really grievously injured, and Amy will come and heal them.
That's very exciting.
Do you want to tell me the first sentence?
I would love to. Sam! Celia's voice was grating.
Oh, it's an interlude.
It's an interlude.
Have we heard
interlude
these names before?
13 and a half bonus. We're getting an interrupting interlude.
Oh, it's like that knock knock joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
An interrupting interlude.
Interrupting interlude.
Interlude! You're welcome.
I don't think we know a Sam or a Celia.
All I can think of is that they're going to be like Skitterland residents about to be killed by Mannequin, but that doesn't seem very likely for an interlude. Like, why would we get that? That's such a main action thing. Why would we get it from someone else's point of view? Let's see. I wanted Grue's interlude, but we're definitely not getting that if it's Sam and Celia. So who are Sam and Celia? Is this going to be the backstory of, like, another cape whose name we don't know, like with Battery? And is it going to be Sam or Celia? I think it's going to be Sam.
Okay.
And Sam could be a guy or a girl. We don't actually know. So could be anyone. So who haven't we seen yet who'd be fun to see? The Wards we saw all of. The Protectorate has some other members. Triumph? Does Triumph still alive?
Yes.
Great. Triumph, I mean Assault, but I don't think we get
as far as I
know. Yeah. Probably not Triumph's interlude. I don't think we do another Protectorate member so soon, though. We've seen Purity. We've seen Hookwolf. I don't know how this would be Noelle's interlude, but I really want Noelle's interlude.
Ooh.
So I kind of want to predict that anyway.
Okay.
Like, maybe
how you're thinking.
It's like Noelle's sibling is named Sam or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, whether it's something you have guessed or not, I think you're going to be really excited about this one.
Ooh.
And we'll find out more
Next time
on Inchworm. Worm is a web serial by J.C. McCrae. You can read Worm at parahumans.wordpress.com and support the author at patreon.com/wildbow. Follow us on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Inchworm Podcast, or find our Discord link and any other updates on inchwormpodcast.com.